Welcome to Ethel Cain University. Today we're doing a deep dive into Nettles by Ethel Cain from the upcoming album Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You, because it is that serious. Class is in session. Please take out your Bibles, your candles, and the syllabus, and let's get started. I have not been able to stop listening to Nettles since it came out. And the reason why I'm making this video today is because there is so much lore. There's been a lot of talk and discourse online, but I wanted kind of like a centralized place to just really get into everything, to do a deep dive discussion. Ethel Cain, Hayden has blessed us with giving annotations on Genius. And she said, I read it on Reddit. I didn't catch the story, I don't know, but she said she did it because usually she likes to let us kind of do the world building in our head, but she wanted to clear up any rumors. And probably I'm guessing the biggest, you know what, let's get into it. Okay, actually, let's read this first, and then we're going to read the lyrics. I gasped when I saw these photos. Are you kidding me? And I'm slow. Probably she is standing around the Nettles. My brain is a little slow to process things. But yeah, I'm guessing she's surrounded by Nettles. Okay, but let's read this because I'm trying to take it in the order of things to kind of thoroughly dive into this. So this is what I read first. Nettles, the first single from my upcoming album Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, is out everywhere now. This was the very first song I ever wrote in the Alabama house where I finally finished Preacher's Daughter. I didn't even realize what story I was writing yet, but I think subconsciously, because I knew how Preacher's Daughter was going to end. I wanted to go back in time to a moment of sweetness. I hope you enjoyed the greenery. I love this song with all my heart and all 10 versions of it across the past 4 years. Thank you to all my wonderful friends, both old and new, who contributed instruments to this track. Okay, so there's drums, electric guitar, organ, fiddle, pedal steel, banjo, which I noticed immediately, and acoustic guitar. The Muscle Shoals session, okay. Beautiful Dolby Atmos mix for singing. Fun fact, I crashed my truck after leaving the Muscle Shoals session to drive the back roads and listen to the studio bounce. Truly the power of music. Written, produced, and mixed by yours truly. Okay. I gagged at these pictures. Truly. Now, let's read the lyrics. Okay, this is the... Oh, there's some, okay, that's only some of these are beautiful images. And I think I don't know if this is her drawings, or I know sometimes she maybe these are hers, because I know she's drawing, sometimes she promotes other artists. Wait, 300, okay, hold on, we're not going through there, but the lyrics, we're on ethelcain.fandom.com, okay? I don't think there was a demo. Maybe there was, I don't know. I'm in the lore, but I'm not. This is like when you find out you know more than your professor. We were in a race to grow up, yesterday through today till tomorrow. But when the plant blew up, a piece of shrapnel flew and slowed that part of you. The doctors gave you until the end of the night, but not till daylight. Not till daylight. Time passes slower in the flicker of the hospital light. I pray the race is worth the fight. Made a fool of myself down on Tennessee Street. It wasn't pretty like the movies. It was ugly like what they all did to me. And they did to me what I wouldn't do to anyone. You know that's for sure. Tell me all the time not to worry. And think of all the time I'll have with you. When I won't wake up on my own. Held close all the time knowing I'm half of you. Lay me down where the trees bend low. Put me down where the greenery stings. I can hear them singing. To love me is to suffer me, and I believe that. When I lay down with you in that all-laying room, wishing I was the way you say that you are. You'll go fight a war, I'll go missing. I warned you, for me it's not that hard. That picture on the wall you're scared of looks just like you. I want to bleed, I want to hurt the way the boys do. Maybe you're right and we should stop watching the news, 'cause baby, I've never seen brown eyes look so blue. Tell me all the time not to worry, and think of all the time I'll have with you, when I won't wake up on my own, held close all the time, knowing I'm half of you. Think of us inside after the wedding, suffering the world to lie a time or two, when we won't wake up in our room, held close all the time, knowing this was all for you. Think of us inside gardenias on the tile, where it makes no difference who held back from who. To love me is to suffer me. Oh my God. Okay, few things that I thought upon first listen. So obviously, I don't know, I thought, okay, we find out finally, because if you're not really in the lore, we know something has happened to Willoughby Tucker, or the whole fandom is asking, where is Willoughby Tucker? What happened to him? Did he die? We don't know. So of course I hear this, the plant blew up, and I know that Ethel Cain is like obsessed with these like plants, like the sound of electricity from like power plants, and these like steam and coal, these big cement structures. So I was like, okay, that checks out. They were hanging out at a power plant and it blew up, and somehow the shrapnel hit him and not her. Okay, that was my first thought. Hold your horses. And then my second thought was, tell me all the time. Lana reference. I tell you all the time. Okay, this is getting itchy. Heaven is a place on earth with you. And I think we know that she likes Lana. Okay, those were my first two main thoughts, that and banjo, and listening to this song and being like, oh my gosh, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And the other part, to love me is to suffer me, that part really stood out to me. Okay, so that's there was some discourse there. And then Mother Cain added her annotations to Genius. You know what? I want to get more into this first, the article, and then we'll read her annotations. Okay, we just want this to simmer. Okay, so Ethel Cain unveils the first song from her forthcoming second studio album. Another beautiful picture. Dolly Kjarn, 2 thumbs up. Ethel Cain is streaming Nettles online with Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, due for release on August 8th. 2 months. This song and the last track on the record were both written in the same week. The very first week I moved into the house in Alabama where I finished Preacher's Daughter, Cain said. In a similar fashion to Preacher's Daughter, specifically A House in Nebraska and Strangers, I wrote what essentially became the beginning and the end of the story without realizing it. What were originally just little vignettes of emotion I was feeling at the time ultimately became the tent poles for a larger narrative. Nettles became a dream of losing the one you love, asking them to reassure you that it won't come true, and to dream instead of all the time you'll have together as you grow old side by side. Every once in a blue moon, it feels good to slow off the macabre and simply let love be. The LP is following the aforementioned 2022 debut album, Preacher's Daughter. I swear the amount of lore with this girl, it's like, because remember I was just saying, because it showed on the Wiki fandom, the demo lyrics. There is a demo. Listen. Nettles is a song by Ethel Cain originally posted as a demo to her Tumblr and SoundCloud accounts in 2021. 4 years ago. That is crazy. And officially released on June 4th, 2025. It acts as the lead single. Okay, we know that. But that's crazy. She drew this. Could she be any more talented? Annoying. Okay. But we're going to Ethel Cain. I swear her annotations are like the hardest thing to find. But if you're looking for them, you need to go to her page. And then this green thing, it says read Ethel Cain's verified annotations. And then it shows one. You need to put this, like there's an arrow at the bottom that says show all of them. And then they'll show up. I'm just going to read through them. Let's get started. To love me is to suffer me. And I believe it. Ethel likens herself to the Nettles, believing that she too is difficult. For anyone to love her, they must first be able to suffer her. In a story, I should have taken a screenshot or video, I'm sure someone did. I think yesterday, 2 days ago, she showed in her story the print of a Nettles, like the physical print. It's the background I started the beginning of the video with. I just think it's so beautiful how in-depth her own world building is. And I think this is so important for any artist, like whatever the discipline, you have to world build. You have to world build. Sufjan Stevens is another example of this. He like pulls you into the world he's created. Ethel Cain likens herself to the nettles, believing that and I'm super into herbalism right now. So this like nettles reference, because nettles, there's a video about like the like medicinal properties of nettles. While it does sting at first, like even sometimes people use it for arthritis, like the stinging actually then helps arthritis feel better. Once you cook it, the stinging goes away, and actually whenever I'm sick I drink nettle tea and it helps like your throat. And so it's just like this beautiful metaphor, like she's like a nettle. To love me is to suffer me. You have to get through the difficult part, and then there's so much like benefit after. And I will always be this like hopeless romantic unrequited love, just, you know. And so this just idea like to love me is to suffer me, it's so emo and I love it. Next one. You'll go fight a war. Willoughby, a boy on his way to becoming a man, will handle his pain the way he believes men should. He'll go out into the world and fight his battles, confronting his demons by force. Now, the fact that, like, so much of this... No, because where's the one where she said that, like, Ethel is daydreaming about all the things that could go wrong with Willoughby, so he didn't actually die in the beginning of the song. She's, like, imagining being ripped apart from him. And that really makes me think about the rest of Preacher's Daughter, like... I mean, I'm even tired of myself saying this about, like, stories and literature, but, like, unreliable narrator. We're all unreliable narrators, but, like, what if Preacher's Daughter, it's like a story in a story of, like, everything, it's not literal there. I don't know, never. I don't know. As she said, she needs to write the book. We need the book. I'll go missing. Meanwhile, Ethel, a girl becoming a woman, fears she will follow in the footsteps of the woman before her and retreat from the problem quietly. She'll swallow the pain and become emotionally unavailable in the process. I warned you, for me, it's not that hard. Ethel has never thought highly of herself. She sees herself as nearly invisible, and the idea of retreating from the world would be easy, as she feels no one would even notice her absence in the end. And that's so interesting, like how she wants to be able to like mourn like the boys do, but at the same time like she'll swallow the pain and become emotionally unavailable. Yeah, like women aren't allowed to be. That's why I'm so obsessed with Nosferatu, especially the new one, and any depictions of female rage and female descent into madness, like gothic horror. It's my favorite genre because usually it's like a woman, you know, in some house, or like at least that's my favorite like subgenre of gothic horror. The Haunting of Hill House, the novel by Shirley Jackson. I also do enjoy the Netflix adaptation. I'm talking about the novel. She descends into madness, and it's so thrilling and interesting and intriguing because women aren't allowed to do that. You have like a big reaction to something and all of a sudden you're crazy. Men are allowed to make, you know, and we're talking in generalities. Okay. Take, for example, the very recent events. The girls are fighting, okay? A Mr. Billionaire and a president having tantrums online, and look at them in their places of power. I warned you, for me, it's not that hard. Oh, think of us inside after the wedding. Ethel looks at her young lover as a way out, an escape from everything in her life that's led up to her finding him again. She imagines the day they get married and have their own piece of paradise, far from the rest of the world, where she will finally feel safe. I don't know if you've ever done this. I sure haven't. Put a finger down. Putting all of my fingers down. If you've ever put all your hopes and dreams and desires into a fantasy version of someone that you've created in your head and think, if I just, you know, could be with them or whatever, like all your problems would be solved. I'm just a girl, okay? I'm just a girl. Held close all the time, knowing this was all for you. Willoughby Tucker, it was all for you. She hopes to draw close to Willoughby, feeling truly held for the first time in a way that will make everything that came before him worth it, and knowing it was all leading straight to him. Yes, romance. Like, it's also why I love, for example, Pride and Prejudice so much. Everything that came before was worth it, and knowing that it was all leading to this one person, this one happiness. I was just thinking of tarot, especially the Ten of Cups, this ideal states that the journey is leading up to, and maybe it's just me and my some might call it limerence, I call it passion, I don't know, undying love, I call it being a lover girl. Willoughby for her is like this green light, this beacon of hope. Time passes slower in the flicker of the hospital light. Ethel loses time and herself to these anxieties. Oh, here it is. And imagines scenarios of losing her lover often. I keep remembering things. I'm not sure if it's in the Genius annotation, but Ethel said, he, or maybe it was someone else's that she co-signed, but like where he is going out in the world and facing the problems, being more practical, she prefers to daydream about the problems and kind of fight it with, anxiety again. Sometimes I think I'm like, well, if I overthink everything, if I let my anxiety do the talking, then I'll be prepared for anything bad that happens. Not really true. Okay, lay me down. What is it? It's like if you let fear do all your thinking, you suffer twice, right? You suffer while you are imagining these scenarios, and then if something bad happens, you suffer again. Lay me down where the trees bend low. Put me down where the greenery stings. I love this imagery also, like, instead of just saying nettles, like, where the greenery stings. Nettles and dust bowl circle each other thematically. Nettles representing soft and vulnerable organisms, evolved to be outwardly painful in self-protection, attempting to grow and survive in a place that makes this difficult. Okay, maybe you're right and we should stop watching the news, because baby, I've never seen brown eyes look so blue. And I have never felt more seen to have brown eyes. Thank you very much. Someone once told me I have sad eyes. I think I was 17 years old. It was like sometime in high school, and I never forgot that. And I thought that was the best compliment when I was 17 years old. And some boy, I think he was like a year older than me, okay? So it was like even more weighted. He told me, "You have such sad eyes." I was like, yes, finally someone recognizes my true nature, my true self. The world outside weighs heavy on the two of them. Willoughby is stricken with the burden of knowing the life that awaits them post-graduation, while Ethel is more than eager to shut it out and not acknowledge it in favor of her own fantasies. Okay, that's what I was talking about, and that was from Ethel. Oh, Willoughby. Willoughby is a twink. Mark Wahlberg? This is why I'm Ethel Cain, and you just watch my lives. Troye Sivan? I'm blocking you. Gardenia. Oh, gardenias! So, before Nettles came out, a video popped up on my YouTube Discover Explore page talking about my smell goods and perfumes. Never clicked so fast. Right now, I'm on like a perfume. We are on the same wave, girl. I am herbs, perfumes. Yes, hour-and-a-half video of her just talking about candles and perfume, and I ate up every single second. And at the end, she had the cutest, like, I'm posting this video because Nettles is coming out tonight. I don't like self-promotion, but please give it a listen. Could not love you anymore. I tell you all the time, heaven is a place on earth with you. Oh, yeah. But anyway, sorry, why I'm talking about this is because, like, 50% of her perfumes had gardenias in it, and she talks about how it was her mom's favorite flower, and not favorite, but I don't know, her mom was growing these gardenia bushes, flowers, and how her mom poured pickle juice on them, and how it's really hard to find gardenias, and a man has never given her gardenias, but her girlfriends, like, friends have. And I immediately Googled, like, how to grow gardenias. Gardenias are her mother's favorite flower. She envisions them at home, newlyweds, surrounded by the imagery that invokes the stories of when her own parents first fell in love. She imagines having that kind of love where emotional unavailabilities and insecurities are a thing of the past. They are simply together in love, and that's all that will matter. Do you know, this is like the most TikTok brain rot, but there is a phrase circulating, and I'm still to this point because I've mostly seen men use it, and I don't know if it's like gaslighting, being delusional, or a real thing, but I keep hearing this phrase, performative avoidance, or something like this. And it's taking me a little bit to wrap my head around it, but this reminded me of it. I think what they mean is like when people pretend to avoid you. No, not avoidance. Performative disinterest. I really cannot tell if it's gaslighting or a real thing or just them being so delusional. Like, yeah, he's not texting me because he's trying to appear disinterested. Full disclosure, my sweet precious toddler woke up, so I've just been laying in the dark for like 30 minutes. So if there's a little vibe shift, that's what happened there. Oh god, okay, let's read this gardenias again. Gardenias on the tile, where it makes no difference who held back from who. Gardenias are her mother's favorite flower. She envisions them at home, newlywed. I don't want to cry. Damn you, Ethel Cain. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Just, it's fine to cry. Now I know how Brittany Broski feels. Now I know how Brittany Broski feels when she's crying into her camera about like the beauty of friendship or something. Gardenias are her mother's favorite flower. She envisions them at home, newlywed, surrounded by the imagery that invokes the stories of when her parents first fell in love. I wonder if Ethel Cain's parents are still together. That's interesting. Okay, but I'm glad I'm reading this again because I'm kind of like, she imagines having that kind of love. It's kind of like storybook love, except it's like people you know, where emotional unavailabilities and insecurities are a thing of the past. I'm really caught up on this. They are simply together in love, and that's all that will matter. It's again this like teenage or even adult belief that you just need the love and that nothing else matters. Okay, I think that's the end of Ethel Cain's, her annotations. Okay, this is getting into the discourse, and I thought this one was interesting. This is kind of what I was trying to say, and it's co-signed by Ethel Cain. I want to bleed, I want to hurt the way boys do. I think this person said it way more elegantly than I could, but I had to blow out my candle when I left. Do you know what my lighter says? Leave me alone, I want to sleep. Caution, don't do this at home. Ethel yearns to experience pain and expression in the way that is culturally coded as masculine. She envisions the perceived emotional clarity and physical freedom boys are often allowed when expressing distress through anger or violence. Such methods mirror the self-destructive actions Willoughby has done throughout the album. Willoughby. Not a perfect lover, or romantic interest, whereas girls and women are frequently denied those outlets or punished for using them. Gendered envy is seen here, not of being a boy per se, but rather to access the same privileges of suffering. Ethel yearns for the right to be visibly angry, reckless, or damaged. That's what I was saying, without it being pathologized or romanticized. You know what that's also interesting is that that's what I was doing when I was like, I love gothic horror or gothic, stories. It's literally romanticizing the female rage. Again, it's existing in the context of something else other than just being allowed to. Interesting. Wanting to bleed and hurt the way boys do alludes to her craving to feel raw and seen rather than quietly suffer under the burden of emotional repression. Jesus. Don't I know about that? Okay. Additionally, Capricorn moon here. What do you know about emotional repression? Capricorn moon in the 5th house where my Saturn is. What the do you know about the burden of emotional repression? Welcome to my therapy session. Additionally, particularly in the 20th century and earlier due to the way that women were restrained and oppressed societally, women less often were able to get out into the world and put themselves into situations where they could be physically injured and were more often victimized by emotional injury instead. Here, Ethel may be saying that she wishes she instead felt physical injury over emotional, okay, whatever, I don't know, and that it hurt less. then she knows that she would be able to handle it better. I guess that goes with like the going to war thing. I don't know. Ethel may also be saying that because Willoughby is part of her, she wants to feel all that he feels, even if it hurts, even if she bleeds. Just relating this back to Preacher's Daughter, thinking about Nebraska, I'm the reason it won't come home, right? And then also how she is trying to inhabit Willoughby in a romantic, pure way, sure, but maybe it's the two ends of this cannibalism, right? So yeah, let's get into it. And if she's anything like me, when I have a very intense crush, it's like you want to crawl into that person's skin. And conversely, at the end of Preacher's Daughter, that's kind of what happens to her, you know. But it's like violent. It's not emotional. Oh my god. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the full spectrum. Yeah, okay. Need to give that another thought. We were in a race to grow up yesterday through today till tomorrow. Life is a race. Okay. Our characters deeply scarred by their environment. Doesn't offer them safely. And it's like the rat race, right? I think this Preacher's Daughter world, it's like in a very low economic town, probably. If they grow up fast enough, they can escape the forces pulling them down. So they're trying to like get out. This yearning is ironic by nature. By rushing into adulthood, they bypass the security and care they might have saved them. Let's re-robe ourselves. While the world was ending, save you, and I know that I would myself to hold you one more time up the floor. This song, girl, Ethel, Hayden, what have you done to me? I've been listening to it nonstop for 2 days. What can I say about Nettles? Like, I have not been this excited for an album in so long. I just really was like touched by this song. It's just, I don't know, it's so beautiful. And like in itself, it is a beautiful 8-minute song from start to finish. Beautiful. And then the layers of like knowing the story, and like, I guess none of our questions were really answered. We don't know if Willoughby is alive or not, but it is a snippet of their story. Okay. Yeah, that's it. This song has made me almost cry so many times a day. I was listening to it in the shower. Usually in the morning in the shower, I like to listen to like Brat, you know, to like Brat Remix album to kind of like get excited for my day. No, I didn't even give myself a fighting chance today. Just listening to Nettles. Oh, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. Shout out to all you people who are doing books, you know, these like TikTok sites. Here are 10 books, you know, related to, like, if you like Nettles, here are 10 books you love to read. Or someone like took down, or not to, like, recorded all the perfumes Hayden has and like, you know, added the names and pictures of them. Thank you. Anyway, as always, like, I just like making these videos to have somewhere to like have like a discussion about these songs that I love. And again, you know, it's like sometimes hard to find people IRL who are gonna like listen to you talk about your theories for an hour. Leave your comments, please. I want to hear all your delusional, crazy theories. Let's turn the comment section into a Reddit discussion thread. See you, I guess, probably, unless she maybe she'll release another single. Maybe she'll Bible down. The Bible fell off the table. Maybe she'll release another single. If so, probably you will be hearing from me before that. If not, we will revisit this topic in August. And remember, you are very, 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 very worthy of being loved. Stinging nettles and all.